So, you might be considering, I don't want to always launch a SAP 2000 instance, I want to use an already running instance. Let's do that then. This one will be quite quick as most of what we'll do is quite similar to the previous example. First, we'll add another button. Now we'll assign a new macro to it. Let's call it Connect to Active Instance. SAP 2000 can have several instances open. However, only one is designed as the active instance at any one time. If you only have one instance open, that one will obviously be the active one. We could also connect to a specific instance of SAP 2000 by getting its process ID, which you can check by opening the Tools tab in your SAP 2000 interface. Let's just keep it simple and connect to the active SAP 2000 instance. Looking at our code, we'll be using many of the same object variables in this macro as in the previous macro. This means the code is going to be longer and needlessly repetitive if we keep redeclaring variables for the same things. So, instead of declaring our helper in SAP 2000 object repeatedly, we can instead declare them as public variables in our code module. Let's take our declaration from the previous macro and paste it to the top of the module. This brings up a question of variable scope. We can leave this as is and use these variables within the scope of the module, which means that any function or procedure inside the code module can access it. Alternatively, declaring it with the public keyword can make it accessible in other code modules. This is opposed to declaring a variable with the dim keyword inside of a function, which will make it strictly accessible only inside the function, making its value lost when the function terminates its execution. Sometimes, it's helpful to keep certain values in memory so that we can access them readily, without the need to recalculate or assign them. Let's keep things as they are since we won't be creating other modules in this example. We'll copy the contents of the previous example as we'll be doing much of the same in this new one. Then, we'll make a few adjustments to alter its functionality to what we want. This is quite a common code practice, and it will save us a lot of time going forward. The first line will remain unchanged. We could add another special procedure to always load our helper object, but we'll keep it simple for now. Let's change our comment line to reflect on the change we'll be making. So, instead of this, we'll write get the active SAP 2000 instance. And now, instead of calling the createObject function, we'll call the getObject function with the same parameter. We can check what this function does in the API documentation. But essentially, all it does is look for an active instance of the specified program, rather than create a new one. We'll also add an if statement to check if the SAP 2000 object has been correctly assigned or not. So, we'll write if my SAP object is nothing, then Excel will send out a message box with the message SAP 2000 instance could not be retrieved. Else, Excel will send a message stating that we are now connected to the SAP 2000 instance. The nothing keyword can be used to check if an object variable was assigned or not. Then, we'll just put an end if keyword to finish the if statement. And we're all done. Time to check out if our code works. First, let's just click the button without having any SAP 2000 instance open. As we can see, our code successfully figured out that there is no open instance of SAP 2000. And so, we're now getting this error message because no value could be assigned to our variable. Now let's launch a new SAP 2000 instance. Let's now test out if it works. And success! We have now obtained a SAP 2000 object by getting it from an active instance. Next, we'll be using this to manipulate existing SAP 2000 instances.